or the war against my own weaknesses. Preparing and sharpening my sword and honing my skills and maintaining the unmitigated daily discipline in all things. Where does it lead? It can lead to war, and that's fine. In fact, I am waiting, and I am ready. Because the warpath is a war against weakness, and so it leads to strength. It's a war against ignorance, and so it leads to knowledge. It's a war against confusion, and so it delivers understanding. The warpath leads to control and leads to ownership of your life. And that is the warpath. The path of fire and adversity. The path of blood and of sweat and of suffering. The warpath is the preeminent path of discipline, which is why it leads to freedom. And beyond that, in the end, it leads to peace. Think if you took out the trash sometime. You're the boss, but you see that the trash is getting overfilled and you just grab it and take it out. Maybe in your mind you think you'd be losing respect, but you actually wouldn't be at all. In fact, everyone looks at you and goes, oh, he's a good guy. And you're working hard, and you still got to maintain the discipline. The more that you treat them with respect, the more they're going to respect you. They're going to know that you're not too high and mighty. They're going to know that you're down to earth. When I was a platoon commander, task unit commander, I picked up brass. I cleaned the ranges with the boys. I would recommend that kind of attitude. It didn't make people think, oh, Jocko doesn't have anything better to do. They actually knew I had stuff to do. But what do I got to do? Pick up brass with the boys. Build the relationships. Set the example. They're going to respect you for it. I hear that I'm over 40, I'm pushing 50, whatever. Bring it. Back off, negative. Not happening. In fact, I'm stepping it up. I'm training harder, eating cleaner. I'm training more. I'm learning and reading and studying more now than I ever have in my whole life. Do I get dinged up? Of course I do. You know what? No factor. No factor. Deal with them. Because you know what? You know what I hear? I hear the clock ticking. That's what I hear. And the end is nigh, and time waits for no man. And you young guns out there, 18 years old, 20 years old, 24 years old, listen. Life goes by, and it goes by quick. Don't waste those years. Don't waste them. Live them. I know that you don't think you're going to live to be 30, much less 40, but you are and you will. And the earlier you get in the game, the better life you're going to have. Healthier, wealthier, stronger, smarter, better. Better. And if you're an old man like me, and you haven't gotten on track yet, get on track. Get on it now. Here's the deal. No complacency. No complacency. No backing off. slack whatsoever. Fight. Fight that ticking clock with everything you got. So, like the end of a hard day, you put your head down with ease. Satisfied. The path. The warpath. A path of war. Moving toward a battle. A fight towards war. The actual war against our nation's enemies. Or the war against my own weaknesses. Preparing. And sharpening my sword and honing my skills and maintaining the unmitigated daily discipline in all things. Where does it lead? It can lead to war, and that's fine. In fact, I am waiting, and I am ready. Because the warpath is a war against weakness, and so it leads to strength. It's a war against ignorance, and so it leads to knowledge. It's a war against confusion, and so it delivers understanding. The warpath leads to control and leads to ownership of your life. And that is the warpath. The path of fire and adversity. The path of blood and of sweat and of suffering. The warpath is the preeminent path of discipline, which is why it leads to freedom. And beyond that, in the end, it leads to peace. People look for the shortcut, the hack. The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. There is no easy way. There is only discipline. You can't control other people. The only person you can control is you. You have control over your mind. Weakness. I'm nothing but weakness. I get emotional over stupid things. I eat the wrong foods. I don't sleep enough. I procrastinate and I waste time. I care too much about stupid things and not enough about important things. In all those ways, I am weak. But I don't accept that. So often, the easy path calls us to be weak for that moment, to give in to short-term gratification. Discipline will not allow that. Discipline can seem like your worst enemy, but in reality, it is your best friend. Discipline. It will make you better and stronger and smarter and faster and healthier than anything else. And most important, it will make you free. Discipline equals freedom. What do you do about the negative guy that's trying to bring you down? And sure, you can confront them, right? And you can, by doing that, join in their little game. And in doing that, you give them the satisfaction. They now know that they got into your head. And then you're turning your workplace into, your basic grade school gossip hall. So we don't like that. But now there are times, unfortunately, that you have to address things. And when you do it professionally. And you do it, your goal is to disarm them. Because remember that this negative person inside, they probably want the confrontation. That's what they want. But the preferred methodology for this situation for me is quite simple. And that is ignore and outperform them. You see, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose and I will win. One of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, boss, we got this and that and the other thing. And I'd look at him and I'd say, good. And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem. And he said, I already know what you're going to say. And I said, well, what am I going to say? He said, you're going to say good. He said, that's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good. And I said, well, yeah. When things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out. Don't get startled. Don't get frustrated. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, now you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack. Do I ever feel like Sisyphus? Yeah. Of course I do. I've been waiting for people to start saying like, oh, you put another picture of the sweat and of a squat rack. Really? But I don't know if they understand. I've been getting on that squat rack and grinding it out for 25 years. And I'm not bored with it yet. It might seem like that's an unwinnable battle, but really to me, it's not about winning. It's the battle itself. It's the struggle. It's the daily test. That's what life's about. Not just physically, But mentally, getting that rock to the top of the mountain, that's not what my goal is. My goal actually is pushing the rock. Because pushing the rock, that pushes me. That makes me tougher. That makes me harder, mentally and physically. It gives me much more than I give it. I want to struggle. I want to grind and claw and scratch, and I want to dig in, and I want to push. And I don't want it to end. If I ever got the rock to the top of the mountain and it stayed there, I'd push it back down myself. I don't want to rest, and I don't want to coast, and I don't want to reach a point in my life where I say, that's it. I've done enough. I'm not going to give anymore. I'm not going to push anymore. No. That relentless cycle of day-to-day challenges, they aren't maddening to me. They don't frustrate me. They inspire me. Inspire me to drive and push more and to push harder. That's what that rock does to me. So I say, dig in and get to pushing. Because we are talking about war, there's still tragedy and loss and darkness there. And that's okay. And to you vets out there, if you're having one of those dark days, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to feel that darkness. And it's okay to remember it and miss it and hate it and love it. And it's okay to wish it never happened, and at the same time to wish it never stopped. And it's okay to want to take it all back, and at the same time to want to do it all again. And if you've got in your mind that you think that people don't understand, that's okay. They don't. But you do. You know darkness. You know evil. But more important than that, you know good. You know light. And you know laughter and love better than anyone. So, embrace that darkness. Own it. Don't look away from it. Don't bury it in booze or in pills. Live your life. Embrace your life. With physical activity and with nature and with jiu-jitsu and with sun and with laughter and guitar and good memories and creativity and discipline. Discipline yourself so you can free yourself. Move forward into the future. There's no more darkness, no more war, but peace. Where does discipline come from? It's pretty simple and pretty obvious. Discipline comes from within. It's an internal force. Now, sure, of course, you can have discipline imposed on you by some person, like a drill instructor, or like that self-help guru on TV. But the reality is that type of discipline isn't the real type of discipline that we're talking about. That discipline isn't as strong. It won't survive. What you need is self-discipline. Now, self-discipline comes from the self. It comes from you. It comes from when you make a decision to be disciplined. When you make a decision to be better. When you make a decision to do more and to be more. Self-discipline comes when you decide that you're going to make a mark on the world. And if you think that you're not disciplined or you can't be disciplined, it's because you haven't yet decided to be disciplined. It's because you haven't created that discipline yet. So make the decision, make the commitment, discipline, the root quality that will improve every aspect of your life. And it'll make you better and stronger and smarter and faster and healthier. And most importantly, it'll make you free.
There are no shortcuts. There are no hacks. If you want to take the easy road, I promise you it's longer and more painful than the hard road. I know. I've lived it. I've ventured down the easy road at times in my life, and it never led to anywhere good. The positive things in my life always came when I faced the biggest challenges. I joined the Navy. I took the hard road in the Navy and made it into the SEAL teams. There, I had the honor of leading men in combat. I learned some lessons along the way, lessons that have been tested on the battlefield and when implemented lead to success in any arena. One of the best things I've learned is that anyone has what it takes to travel the hard road, to walk the path that leads to success. That includes you. It won't be easy. It will demand everything you've got to give, but you can do it. And I want to give you 3 key principles I've learned that will help you to get it done. Principle number 1, discipline equals freedom. That's not a contradiction, it's an equation. Discipline might appear to be the opposite of freedom, but in fact, discipline is the path to freedom. Discipline is the driver of daily execution. Discipline defeats the infinite excuses that hold you back. Some people think motivation is what will compel them to get things done. But motivation is just an emotion, a feeling. And like all feelings, it's fickle. It comes and goes. You can't count on motivation to be there when you need to get through truly challenging times. But you can count on discipline. Discipline is something you dictate. Motivation won't make you exercise every day. Discipline will. Motivation won't stay up late and finish a project for you. Discipline will. Motivation isn't going to get you out of bed in the morning. Discipline will. Make discipline part of your daily life, and your daily life will get better. Principle number 2, stay humble. In life, you are going to have to do things that you don't want to do. Maybe things that you don't think you should have to do. Things that offend your precious ego. When I got done with basic SEAL training and reported on board SEAL Team 1, you know what I was assigned to do? I was assigned to clean toilets. That's right. Despite having just graduated some of the most difficult military training in the world, despite being assigned to an elite commando unit, my first mission at the actual SEAL team was to clean toilets. Not exactly a glorious job. But you know what? I did it. I did it to the best of my ability and took pride in doing it well. And that attitude got noticed. If I cared that much about how clean the toilets were, people knew I would do a good job with even more important assignments. After a short period of time, I got those more important assignments. But it was humility that opened the door for me. Now, being humble does not mean you shouldn't be confident. You certainly have to believe that you are a capable person. But don't let confidence turn into arrogance. So keep your ego in check and stay humble. The third and final principle, take ownership of everything. I call this extreme ownership.